You wake up every morning and look at your life. You scroll your phone, check your notifications, maybe watch a few videos, and in the back of your mind, there's this quiet voice that whispers, "You're wasting it." That's not society talking. That's not your parents. That's you. Deep down, you know you could be more. You could have been further. You could have been richer, stronger, sharper, but you're not. And here's the truth. Nobody wants to say to your face, "You chose this loser life." It wasn't luck. It wasn't the government. It wasn't your upbringing. Every decision you made stacked like bricks, building the walls around you. You chose to sleep when you should have been awake. You chose to waste hours in distraction instead of mastering a skill. You chose comfort over hunger, excuses over discipline, and now you look around wondering why nothing changes. It doesn't change because you don't change. You think successful people were born with something you don't have? Wrong. The difference is they refuse to let weakness dictate their path. They refused to negotiate with laziness. They got up when it was easier to stay down. They trained when nobody was watching. They bet everything on themselves, and they didn't flinch when the world laughed at them. You, on the other hand, keep negotiating with your own mediocrity, hoping for results you never earned. Understand this. Life is a fight, and you've been walking into the ring with your hands down. Every day, the world swings at you. Bills swing at you. Competition swings at you. Time swings at you. And you're taking punches because you haven't trained yourself to hit back. You keep saying you'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow is the graveyard where your dreams go to die. You have to kill that word from your vocabulary. There is no tomorrow. There is now. The harshest reality, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's gonna knock on your door with an opportunity wrapped in gold and say, "Here, take it." Life doesn't hand things out. Life tests who is willing to rip what they want from the jaws of difficulty. You don't deserve anything until you prove you can take it. You have to understand that your feelings don't matter here. Success doesn't care if you're tired, stressed, or scared. The world rewards results, not reasons. Every second you waste is stolen from your future self. You sit here imagining the life you want, the cars, the money, the freedom, but you ignore the truth that life has a price tag, and the currency is discipline. The currency is sacrifice. The currency is blood, sweat, and an iron will that refuses to break. You want the rewards, but you're allergic to the cost, and that's exactly why you're stuck. You need to develop a hatred for the version of yourself that settles for less. You need to be disgusted by your own excuses. Every time you waste an hour, imagine your competitor working through that hour, getting sharper, richer, stronger. They're out there building their empire while you're busy scrolling, relaxing, or complaining. And one day, you'll see them win. You'll see them living the life you dream about. And you'll realize they didn't steal it from you, you handed it to them. People love to tell themselves stories. If I had more money, I'd start. If I had connections, I'd win. If I had more time, I'd work on my goals. Lies. You have time. You have a phone, internet, access to more information than kings had centuries ago, and yet you use it to consume garbage. That's not a lack of resources, that's a lack of will. The uncomfortable truth is, the world has given you tools, but you've chosen to use them to entertain yourself instead of elevate yourself. You think discipline is punishment, but discipline is the only real freedom. When you master yourself, you master life. When you can tell your body we're working and it obeys, you win. When you can tell your mind we're focused and it locks in, you win. Most people can't even control their own fingers. They say they'll work, then find themselves tapping through social media without even realizing it. That's how enslaved they are to their impulses. And here's where it gets dangerous. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken the foundation of your own mind. You train yourself to accept failure as normal. You become comfortable with quitting. That's why so many people never get anywhere. They've built a habit of betraying themselves. You need to reverse that. Start making promises you refuse to break, no matter what. Start keeping commitments to yourself until your own mind knows you're a person who finishes. Forget motivation. Motivation is a spark. It burns out fast. You need a furnace inside you, discipline, obsession, a relentless drive that doesn't care about mood or comfort. There will be days when you feel nothing. Good. That's when you test if you're serious. You think champions feel like training every day? No. They train anyway. That's the difference between them and you. You keep waiting for the right time when the mood is perfect. They create the mood through action. The moment you realize this is all your fault is the moment you take back your power. You chose the life you're living, which means you can choose another one. You can choose to starve your weaknesses instead of feeding them. You can choose to grind instead of sleep. You can choose to fight for your goals instead of waiting for them to arrive. But you have to choose now, and you have to choose every single day without fail. One day, you'll look back on this moment and either hate yourself for wasting it or thank yourself for seizing it. That decision is being made right now. Every action you take today will echo into the next years of your life. You can keep living like a spectator, clapping for other people's victories, or you can step into the arena and bleed for your own. You can keep believing the lies that comfort you, or you can swallow the truth that changes you. Stop letting fear and laziness run your life. Stop acting like you have unlimited time. The clock is ticking, and every second gone is gone forever. Nobody's going to ask your permission before life moves on without you. You either get in the game now, or you get left behind. The choice is yours, but remember, every choice has consequences. The life you have today is the sum of your past choices. So ask yourself, are you going to keep choosing this loser life? Or are you finally going to stand up, grab it by the throat, and take what you know you deserve? No more excuses, no more waiting, no more hoping. Decide, act, dominate. There's a dangerous comfort in staying average. It's easy, it's familiar. You don't have to push yourself, you don't have to risk failing, you don't have to face the discomfort of growth. But here's the thing, comfort is a slow poison. It doesn't kill you instantly, it kills your potential day by day. It lulls you into a false sense of security while silently stealing every opportunity you could have claimed. The truth is, your so-called safe life is the riskiest thing you could be living, because every day you waste is a day you'll never get back. You were not born to live paycheck to paycheck, scrolling through the highlight reels of people who took the risks you avoided. You weren't put here just to exist. You were built to conquer something, to create something that outlives you. But that will never happen if you keep acting like your current circumstances are permanent. They're not, they're the direct result of your choices. And until you change those choices, you'll keep getting the same outcomes. Right now, there's a version of you in another universe who made different decisions. That version didn't hit snooze. That version didn't binge watch shows for hours. That version trained, studied, worked relentlessly, and refused to make excuses. And today, that version is living the life you want. The only difference between that reality and yours is discipline. That should burn inside you because it means the gap between where you are and where you could be is entirely under your control. Think about the people you admire. They are not superhuman. They are not gods. They simply put in more hours, more energy, more focus than you have. They sacrificed more than you were willing to. They bled for their goals while you were distracted. They took the same 24 hours you have and treated every single one like gold. Meanwhile, you've been spending yours like loose change, scattering them on meaningless distractions that give you nothing back. And let's be brutally honest, deep down, you know this. You know you could have worked harder. You know you've been lying to yourself. You've been telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow. I'll try next week. I'll begin when I feel ready. That's the language of someone who never starts. Readiness is a myth. If you wait to feel ready, you'll waste your entire life waiting. The people who win in life don't wait. They start scared, they start unprepared, and they figure it out along the way. Your mind is your greatest weapon, but for most people, it's also their biggest prison. You're locked inside your own head, shackled by doubt and fear. You convince yourself that you can't, because it's easier than proving that you can. You settle for less, because settling is comfortable. But if you want a different life, you have to break that mental cage, and breaking it will hurt. It will mean confronting your flaws without mercy. It will mean admitting you've been lazy, weak, and distracted. But on the other side of that pain is freedom. You need to stop chasing the illusion of balance when you're still losing. People talk about work-life balance like they've earned the right to relax. Balance is for people who are already winning. If you're broke, if you're out of shape, if you're nowhere near your goals, you don't need balance. You need obsession. You need tunnel vision. You need to eat, sleep, and breathe your mission until it's a part of you. Only then do you earn the right to talk about balance. And don't fool yourself into thinking you have time. Time is not your friend, it's your enemy, if you waste it. Every minute you spend doing nothing is another minute your competition is getting stronger. That's the reality you refuse to face. Somewhere out there, someone wants exactly what you want, and they're willing to suffer more than you to get it. They're willing to wake up earlier, train harder, and grind longer. And when you meet them in the arena of life, they will crush you because you chose comfort while they chose war. People love to talk about motivation, but motivation is a liar. It tells you you'll feel like working tomorrow. It tells you you just need a little rest before you start. It tells you success will come when the time is right. That's all nonsense. The only truth is this: discipline beats motivation every single time. You can't build an empire on feelings. You build it on habits. Habits are what carry you when your feelings betray you. You've got to harden yourself. Life will not hand you victories just because you want them. Life will test you with challenges designed to break the average man. And right now, you're still average. That's not an insult. It's a diagnosis. But you can change it. You can become the kind of person who runs toward difficulty instead of away from it. You can become the kind of person who looks at a problem and says, good, this is where I get stronger. But that transformation only happens when you stop protecting your weaknesses and start destroying them. Think about the people who've achieved greatness. Every one of them paid in full for what they have. They endured long nights, endless failures, and countless rejections. They faced ridicule, doubt, and setbacks that would make most people quit, but they kept going because they understood one thing: winners don't stop when it's hard. They stop when it's done. You need to tattoo that into your brain. You don't get to stop just because you're uncomfortable. You don't get to quit just because it's painful. You stop when you've achieved what you set out to do. You want respect? Earn it. You want freedom? Fight for it. You want to be remembered? Do something worth remembering. Nobody cares about your intentions. They care about your results. You can have the best ideas in the world, but if you don't execute, they mean nothing. The graveyards are full of people with great potential who never acted. Don't join them. Right now, you're standing at a crossroads. One road leads to the same life you've been living, predictable, safe, unremarkable. The other road is steep, dangerous, and exhausting, but it leads to the life you've been dreaming about. Most people will choose the first road because it's easier, and that's why most people will never have what they truly want. If you want to be different, you have to choose the road that scares you. You have to choose the road that demands more from you than you think you have. And then you have to prove yourself wrong by doing it anyway. The brutal reality is this: if you keep living the way you're living, nothing will change. Next year will look exactly like this year. You'll still be stuck, still be broke, still be wishing for a miracle that's never coming. But if you decide right now to change your choices, your habits, your mindset, you can rewrite your entire future. It won't be easy, it won't be fast, but it will be worth every drop of effort you put in. Your life is in your hands. That's not a cliche, it's the most powerful truth you'll ever hear. You can either grip it tightly and shape it into something extraordinary, or you can let it slip away while you make excuses. The choice has always been yours. The question is, are you ready to stop choosing the loser's path and start building the life you were meant to live? The world will never slow down for you. It won't pause so you can catch your breath. It won't wait while you figure things out. Every second you hesitate, someone else is moving, building, stacking wins. They're getting sharper while you're still deciding if you should start. And when you finally wake up, they'll be so far ahead you won't even see them in the distance. That's the cost of hesitation. It buries you before you even begin. You've been living like you have unlimited chances, like there will always be another opportunity, another tomorrow, another restart. But the truth is brutal. Chances expire, opportunities vanish, time doesn't refill. Every day you spend in procrastination is a day stolen from the life you could have lived. You don't need to get ready, you need to get moving. You'll never have all the answers, but you don't need them to take the first step. The uncomfortable fact is, the life you want isn't hiding from you. It's sitting right there on the other side of work you're avoiding. And you know exactly what that work is. You know the habits that are killing your progress. You know the hours you waste. You know the lies you tell yourself to justify it. And if you're honest, that's the real reason you're not where you want to be. Not because you can't, but because you won't. Pain is unavoidable. You will either feel the pain of discipline, or the pain of regret. One is heavy now and light later. The other is light now and heavy forever. The pain of discipline makes you stronger, sharper, respected. The pain of regret leaves you hollow, haunted by what if, until your last breath. And every day you choose laziness over effort, you're voting for regret. There's a sickness spreading through the world. People think they deserve rewards for simply existing. They want applause for trying, respect for showing up, and comfort without contribution. That mentality is poison. The universe doesn't hand out trophies for intentions, it rewards execution. You don't get remembered for what you thought about doing, only for what you actually did. You must decide who you're going to be when nobody's watching. Anybody can post motivation online, anybody can talk about goals. But real power comes from what you do when there's no audience, no likes, no validation. That's when your true character is revealed. Are you the person who still grinds in silence, or the one who works only when someone is clapping? Look at your life with cold, ruthless honesty. Are you proud of how you've spent the last month, the last year? Can you say without hesitation that you've done everything in your power to change your situation? If the answer is no, then you're living proof that dreams die without discipline. Stop pretending the problem is external. It's not your circumstances, not your upbringing, not the economy. It's the man in the mirror. Fix him, and you fix everything. You have to stop treating hard work like it's optional. It's not. It's the entry fee for everything worth having. You want respect? Pay for it in effort. You want wealth? Pay for it in years of relentless grind. You want freedom? Pay for it with discipline every single day until the chains are gone. Nobody escapes this truth. Those who try end up broke, bitter, and blaming the world for a life they built themselves. Every weakness you tolerate today will own you tomorrow. Every time you let yourself skip the workout, avoid the difficult conversation, delay the important work, you're feeding the part of you that wants you to stay small. And the more you feed it, the stronger it gets. You can't negotiate with weakness, you have to starve it. That means showing up when you're tired, pushing harder when you want to quit, and refusing to allow excuses to take root. Most people's problem is they think they have to feel ready before they act. That's backwards. Action creates readiness. You don't wait for courage, you build it by doing the thing you fear. You don't wait for energy, you create it by moving. You don't wait for clarity, you earn it by taking steps forward, even if you can't see the entire path yet. The first step is always the hardest, but it's also the one that breaks the chains. Understand this: comfort zones are prisons disguised as safe havens. They keep you warm, but they keep you weak. They protect you from risk, but they also protect you from growth. You cannot live an extraordinary life while staying in a cage built from fear and laziness. The moment you step out, you'll face discomfort, uncertainty, maybe even failure. But every challenge you face out there will forge you into someone unstoppable. Stop worshiping motivation and start worshiping discipline. Motivation is a guest. It visits when it feels like it. Discipline is a resident. It lives with you, whether you feel like working or not. That's why disciplined people win, even when they're tired, stressed, or uninspired.
They've built a system that ignores emotion and obeys commitment. You will never rise above the standards you set for yourself. If your standards are low, your results will be low. If you tolerate mediocrity, you'll get mediocrity. Raise your standards until they scare you. Demand more from yourself than anyone else ever could. Hold yourself accountable, like your life depends on it, because it does. You're not just building a career, or a body, or a bank account. You're building a reputation with yourself. And once you lose trust in yourself, it's almost impossible to get back. Remember, nobody cares about your struggles until you win. They won't believe in your vision. They won't support your grind. They won't clap for your progress. And that's fine. Let them doubt. Let them laugh. Let them underestimate you. Just don't give them the satisfaction of being right. Prove them wrong by outworking, outlasting, and outsmarting every single one of them. The clock is running, and you are not guaranteed another day. That's not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. You've been acting like you can start later, but later might never come. If you knew you had 1 year left to live, would you still waste hours scrolling, sleeping in, and making excuses? Or would you finally act like your time matters? The truth is, you don't need a death sentence to start living like your life matters. You just need the courage to act now. You have a choice to make, right here, right now. Keep choosing the habits, thoughts, and actions that have kept you broke, weak, and invisible. Or step into the arena and start swinging until your knuckles bleed. There is no middle ground. You either rise or you rot. You either build or you decay. And every single day, the choice is yours. One day, all of this will be over. The time you're living in now, the energy you have, the chances you're ignoring, they will be gone. And when that day comes, you will either stand tall knowing you gave it everything, or you will collapse under the weight of your own regret. That's the reality people run from. But you can't outrun time. You either use it or it uses you. You don't get to choose how you start in life, but you always choose how you finish. You could have been born broke, abandoned, overlooked, but none of that matters once the game starts. The scoreboard doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your story. It only shows results. And right now, your results are the sum of your daily decisions. If you don't like what you see, you know what needs to change. People like to fantasize about success, but very few are willing to build the foundation it stands on. They want the rewards without the grind, the recognition without the rejection, the comfort without the chaos. But life doesn't work that way. You don't get the crown without carrying the cross first. You don't get the glory without enduring the grind. Every inch of progress is bought and paid for in effort. And if you're not willing to pay, stop pretending you want it. You need to start taking your life personally. This is not a game. This is not a practice run. Every day you waste is a day you can't get back. Every excuse you make is a brick in the wall between you and your goals. And the longer you let that wall grow, the harder it will be to break. If you truly understood how much your future depends on what you do today, you wouldn't waste a single second. You are not entitled to anything. The world owes you nothing. The moment you understand that, you gain power. Because then you stop waiting for permission. You stop expecting someone else to give you what you haven't earned. You take responsibility for every aspect of your life, the wins and the losses. And that's when you stop being a victim and start being a creator. Stop telling yourself you'll change when the conditions are right. They will never be perfect. There will always be problems, always be obstacles, always be reasons to delay. The winners in life aren't the ones with perfect timing. They're the ones who move forward in imperfect conditions. They adapt, they fight, they refuse to stop no matter what's in their way. That's why they win. And here's the truth. The pain you feel right now from starting will be temporary, but the pain of never starting will last forever. You will never escape the thought of what you could have been. That thought will follow you into every job you hate, every mirror you look into, every night you can't sleep. It will whisper, you could have been more, but you chose less. There's a beast inside you. You've felt it before. That surge of power when you commit to something, when you push yourself beyond what you thought possible, when you refuse to quit, but you keep that beast caged because you're scared of what it might take to keep it alive. You're scared of the discipline, the sacrifice, the consistency. But here's the truth. That beast is the only version of you that will ever win in this world. If you don't unleash it now, it will die inside you. You have to demand more from yourself than anyone else ever will. You have to set standards so high they make people uncomfortable. You have to decide that average is unacceptable, that mediocrity is poison, that comfort is the enemy. And then you have to live that decision every single day, no matter how you feel. Because feelings are temporary, but habits decide your destiny. Don't wait for inspiration. Don't wait for confidence. Don't wait for some magical sign from the universe. The sign is already here. It's the fact that you're alive right now with a choice to make. You can act, or you can waste it. And if you waste it, understand this: the world will move on without you. Someone else will take the opportunities you ignored. Someone else will live the life you could have had. And it won't be because they were better. It will be because they were braver. Your life is not a dress rehearsal. You don't get to come back and do it over. This is it. Right here, right now. Every second is a vote for the person you want to become. Every action is either pulling you closer to your vision or pushing you further away. If you're not moving toward it, you're moving against it. There is no neutral ground. You must learn to love the grind. You must learn to crave the struggle, to respect the process, to see every setback as a test of your hunger. Winners don't wish for easy lives, they wish for the strength to handle the hard ones. That's the mindset you need, not one that hides from difficulty, but one that thrives in it. Because difficulty is where you grow, and growth is where you win. Every day you wake up is a gift. That means every day you waste is a disgrace. You owe it to yourself to show up like your life depends on it, because it does. You owe it to the younger version of you who dreamed of more. You owe it to the future version of you, who's counting on your discipline today. And if that's not enough to light a fire under you, then understand this: nobody is coming. Nobody's going to drag you to greatness. You either walk there yourself, or you don't get there at all. This is your moment. This is the line in the sand. Either you step over it and become the person you were meant to be, or you stay where you are and watch life pass you by. There's no rescue mission, no miracle coming. There's only you, your choices, and the results you earn. So get up, tear down the excuses, crush the laziness, silence the doubts, step into the fight with your head high and your heart set. Make the decision that you will not live one more day as the same person you were yesterday. From this moment forward, every action is a step toward domination. Every choice is a weapon. Every day is a battle you refuse to lose. You chose this loser life, but you can choose again. And when you do, choose to be relentless, choose to be unbreakable, choose to be the one who refused to quit. Because one day when you're standing on the mountain you climbed with your own blood and sweat, you'll realize that was the only choice worth making.